What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We're breaking down The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5, Feel Her Love. So Ellie's revenge quest has officially begun. We've taken the first real big step into this journey. The episode opens up, we get to see the WLF in the hospital setting, which is a huge setting in the game. They've sealed off all the doors that lead into the basement. And then we get a really cool scene of one of the WLF leaders kind of interrogating one of their own, because they had abandoned some of those soldiers in that basement area. And one of the cool things that we come to find out is that the lady that they're interrogating, she basically had to sacrifice her son to kind of save the rest of the WLF. So basically, her son goes down there, she gets a radio call that there's these spores that he's been exposed to, and he says to his mom to just seal it off and leave him down there. What I thought was really cool is I thought it was a really cool parallel to Joel, because it's basically the opposite of what Joel did. This mother was able to sacrifice her child for the greater good, and that's something that Joel wasn't able to do, even if it was for the best of humanity. So then we get to see Dina and Ellie back at the theater, kind of planning things, seeing what their next move is gonna be. I thought one of the cooler parts of this episode was we get to see Ellie go to the stage, see the guitars, pick one up, start playing a certain song. It's called Future Days by Pearl Jam. She starts playing it, sings like the first line or two, and then just gets like too emotional. As people that play the game, we already know the song is a pretty big integral part to Joel and Ellie's relationship. I think it's too spoilery, but Joel basically taught Ellie this song. It's very important to them. So it was cool to kind of see it on the TV show for the first time. I'm sure we're gonna get a little bit more history and context in the next episode, because it seems like it's gonna be a big flashback episode. So all you guys that are sad about Pedro being gone, don't worry, he'll be back. He gets a full episode next week. But yeah, that moment was really impactful, really emotional. I thought it was really exciting for the TV viewer to get teased that a little bit to see where that leads. And then they kind of get their little plan together. Dina is kind of the brains of the situation. She's been, plotting their routes and stuff, and notices that there's a little area right in the middle that they do not patrol. They know that it's dangerous considering they're not patrolling it, but they think it's gonna be their best bet to kind of get closer to the WLF. So we get to this little area, and what we find out is that the reason that it's not being patrolled is that it's filled with stalkers, about 12 of them. Stalkers were the smart kind of infected that we met in the past episode. And Ellie and Dina think that they can handle it, and then they realize that there's so many, and that's basically gonna mean certain death no matter who you are. So Ellie decides to kind of sacrifice her bodily autonomy because she knows she can kind of take bites. So she hides Dina in this cage. Ellie is trying to fight these infected, these stalkers. Dina's in the cage is getting torn up. They're all about to get to her. And then, dun, 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 here comes Jesse to save the day. Busting in, shotgun in hand, taking out these stalkers. Little bit different than the game. In the game, Tommy goes on kind of a rampage, and they kind of go after Tommy to help him out. Dina and Ellie left first, and it seems that Tommy and Jesse are chasing after them. So we found out that Tommy's there as well. He's just at a different area. They kind of split up to try to cover more ground. And then we get to the hospital. Dina and Jesse go off on their own, and Ellie gets stranded on her own in the hospital, and she finally crosses paths with the first member of the group. So we get to see Nora again. I thought this was really impactful and a cool way to start it, because Nora, if you remember, was the member of the group that held Ellie down and made her watch while they kind of murdered Joel. Nora goes to the one place she thinks Ellie's not gonna go because she doesn't realize who she is. They end up in that basement area. Nora's breathing in spores. She's obviously on her last legs. She sees Ellie coming in, kind of stalking her, and then she realizes who she is because she's breathing and she's normal. So she's like, you're the one that we were trying to have save humanity, and Joel's the one that ruined that for everybody. She's like, I bet you didn't even know what happened at the hospital. And I think one of the cool reveals is we find out that Ellie does know what happened. And even with all that knowledge, she's still gonna take her ass out no matter what, which I thought was awesome. It shows her drive, it shows her power in seeking for revenge. She's gonna stop at nothing. There's no amount of force, there's no amount of soldiers, there's no amount of infected that's gonna stop her from achieving what she's gonna achieve. So we just saw the first step of many. Is it gonna lead somewhere good? I don't know, we'll see. Obviously they've done enough different things that it could go in a couple different directions. I'm loving this interpretation of the game. I think they're doing a good job. The changes are cool. Honestly, one change I think Tommy would have been cooler to go on his rampage to show that like passion and love that he had for Joel, that he would, you know, even sacrifice his relationship with his wife to go, you know, avenge his brother. But I kind of understand why they made the changes. I think, you know, this season is controversial. Everyone knew it was going to be controversial, especially everybody that played the game. The game was controversial. People didn't like a lot of aspects of the game. People were uncomfortable with some aspects of the game. And obviously that's permeating into the TV viewer audience. I honestly think it's funny because I think a lot of people are kind of taking the bait. I think the most controversial line is when Ellie says that she's gonna be a dad, which is pretty cringe, to be honest with you. It doesn't really happen in the game. They know what they're doing. They understand that that was probably gonna cause controversy, and all you little soft boys like commenting that you don't like that line is just adding fuel to the fire. You're bringing more eyes to the show. You're making it worse kind of because, you know, you're so uncomfortable, you have to say something about it. But yeah, I'm loving it. I love this story. I love seeing the turmoil happen. I love seeing everybody squirm in their seats when two girls kiss. It's kind of funny to me. But yeah, next week, like I said, you guys, it's okay, take a breath. You get Joel back. I think we're gonna get a full episode of flashbacks. We're gonna fill in a lot of gaps. But that's it for this week, guys. Let me know what your favorite part of this week was. Let me know what your favorite cringe moment so far was. What made you kind of go, ugh, when they said it or when you saw something happen? Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.